Sometimes learning about attachment styles seems to sterilize the relationship. How do you preserve the romance? In this clip, you will learn more about how and why the passion may seem to wane, at least at first, when you start learning about attachment styles. You'll also learn about the role of fantasy and boredom when it comes to arousal versus true love. We will also discuss the need to shed a desire for specialness in order to discover how truly special you really are. The clip I'm going to be sharing with you today was taken from a live stream event during which I answered questions from my audience. Now, if you haven't checked out the series yet, I invite you to look up the playlist Healing Attachment Wounds on my YouTube channel, and make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I put out videos once a week and I wouldn't want you to miss out. Before we dive into today's clip, if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Brianamacwilliam, and I am a licensed and board-certified creative arts therapist with more than 15 years in the field, helping adults struggling with insecure attachment go from self-doubting to self-sovereign so they can attract the soul-shaking, passionate partnerships that they want. And I do this using a psycho-spiritual approach to creative arts interventions, which I call the Macwilliam Method. The content on my YouTube channel is derived from my online courses, which you can learn more about through the link in the caption of this video. If you would like to learn more about your attachment style, you can take the 4-question quiz. If you like what you see and hear and you want to learn more, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I put out videos once a week, and I wouldn't want you to miss out. Okay, so let's talk about attachment styles and romance. When we discover that a part of the attraction we felt was due to attachment styles, it can get confusing. So how do we navigate through that without losing the romance? If what you're telling me is a lot of the arousal I experience is because of an attachment system response to someone, which is informed by a past pattern of relating, right? Then if I adopt that mentality and attitude, do I kill the romance, right? Or what if I start to feel more secure and suddenly I'm not attracted to my partner anymore, right? Or they're not attracted to me. So when what we experience as romantic, when we are overly identified with our attachment system and we have long been operating impulsively on its behalf, in other words, addicted to a drama cycle and a dysfunction that is likely to be an echo of our upbringing or previous relationships that were very topsy-turvy, then you are looking to change who you are on some level. Changes when you become more aware of yourself and secure within yourself are going to occur. So as you move towards a state of expanding consciousness, let's say, you will be attracted to and attract very different types of people. That's actually how you do it. A lot of people will say, why is it that I keep falling into these same repetitive patterns? Because you're still attracted to the same thing. Well, how do I change my attraction or who I attract? It's an inward journey. It's not an external one. You can learn all the red flags in the world and it's just going to keep you in performance mode because you're still looking outside of yourself to change the way you feel internally. Right? So initially, you might experience this as a loss of romance or a loss of attraction. And I would argue that that's actually a really good sign because it means that you are no longer held captive or in bondage to fantasies that were ultimately just coping mechanisms for survival fears and ego attachments based on fears and limiting beliefs about the possibilities for love in your life. And that means, functionally speaking, that you are choosing to kill off an aspect of yourself in order to rebirth it and integrate it again so that you can give it a new job. Become part of a new identity that defines and experiences love and romance and arousal in a very new and different and much more expanded way. So usually when we are afraid to step into consciousness because we are afraid of losing that kind of arousal, we have not experienced reality as very positively stimulating. So we get prone to feeling bored a lot, or we're excited by what we perceive to be a particular challenge in the relationship. But usually this is a mechanism that romanticizes suffering as a telltale sign of true love. So in other words, we need to rise to a challenge in order to prove our specialness to someone that is probably rather stingy with their regard, so that we can finally prove our specialness and our worthiness to ourselves, our enoughness, right? A lot of us struggle with being too much and yet not enough. But if you are here, if you're consuming content like mine, then it's likely that this pattern has not been working out so well for you lately. And what you have found romantic up until this point is not serving you. It's not serving you. So if you're noticing that some of the romance is draining out of your relationship, that's a really good sign, because that means that you are expanding beyond whatever was in you that created the relationship up until that point. Because everything in your life as it exists right now is a result of who you have been. Everything is a result of who you have been. And if you are looking to make changes, you cannot look around in the present moment at your life and hope that that's going to help you change, because that's a result of who you've been. Who you will become is a result of the choices that you will make now today. And unfortunately, almost nothing in your environment is going to reflect the change you want to see. Okay? So that means you have to vision it, visualize it, and now you have to seek out new things that reflect the changes you want to see. Okay? If you're going to move in an environmental way. Also, it's a similar process moving into the inner space, right? So you actually have to be willing to let go of what you have found romantic and attractive and arousing in the past. And just trust and have faith and know that new insights, new thoughts, new feelings, new arousal states are going to emerge in its place. They will. They are going to. Okay? So a few questions to leave you with. What turns you on? What do you specifically find attractive about your partner? And are you afraid if you look too closely at the relationship or you look too closely at the specifics, you'll find out that it's actually a fuzzy kind of ill-defined thing and feeling. And so when you are forced to look at the specifics of long-term compatibility dimensions, for example, you may find that it was actually just an attachment reaction or a projection of all the feelings you wanted to feel, and so you assigned them to a specific person in order to feel them. But as it turns out, it was not about that person at all. It was actually all about you, right? Now, if that's the case, I would argue that this is not a cause to lament or to get upset or to feel sad or to beat yourself up, but rather to celebrate, because now you are finally able to see yourself and this person for who each of you really is, for who you really are. And now there is room to feel real love and romance and to allow that to spark. Now you are on a real playing field, and now you are capable of experiencing real romance. And I would argue it's probably nothing you've experienced before. Okay. What new insights do you feel you've gained around arousal and romance? How have you experienced boredom and fantasy in your previous relationships? What do you think infatuation and arousal are in comparison to true love? How desperately do you need to feel special in a relationship? And would you be able to give that up if it meant finding a secure relationship? Leave a comment below. I would love to know how this content is resonating with you. I also take all comments into consideration when putting together our future live streams. If you liked today's video and you're interested in learning more about how to keep the passion alive in your relationships, then I recommend checking out my video, 3 Traits of an Irresistible Lover and Why Trying Doesn't Work. In this video, we talk about 3 crucial traits to keeping the passion alive, and that includes the ability to receive, the ability to set and sustain your personal boundaries, and the ability to self-advocate. We also talk about 2 nasty habits that can get in the way, such as people-pleasing and waiting for permission to feel your feelings or want what you want in relationship. You might also be interested in my video, 3 Steps to Create a Truly Conscious Relationship, on my YouTube channel. In this video, we talk about defining consciousness versus unconsciousness when it comes to adult romantic relationships. Then we take a look at the notion that love must be equated with need satisfaction, which are conditional exchanges in a relationship. And lastly, we reframe the concept of conscious relationships and pose a question in a positive light. If you're wanting to know how to experience and express unconditional love in relationships, this is the video for you. And if you would like to attend a live stream in the future, remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.